Here are 12 realistic side hustles you can do with a van or ute in Australia, or even a car for that matter. They're easy side hustles that you can start today, and some of which could pay off your whole rego in a weekend. If you've got a van or a ute in Australia, you're basically sitting on a money-making machine. And even if you don't, no dramas, because most of these side hustles can be done by just attaching a cheap trailer onto the back of your car. My name's Andy, and I've been running side hustles in Australia for over a decade. First, we're going to start with the easy earners, then some lucrative micro businesses, before finishing with some passive income earners. So category one, the money makers, the everyday money makers. This is stuff you can start today with zero fuss. So kicking off at number one, furniture delivery for Facebook Marketplace sellers. Facebook Marketplace is full of people buying bulky stuff with no way to get it home. You can offer same-day delivery and charge per job or per kilometer, and it's easy money, man. You can list your services on Airtasker or even on Facebook Marketplace itself. And unless the person who books you is just an absolute pain, you can then also give them your mobile number and tell them to hit you up if they ever buy anything else or sell anything else on Facebook Marketplace, or if they need any of the other jobs doing that I'm about to talk about next. And one of those is our number two today. It's rubbish removal. So at the start of the year, we moved house and we had a lot of hard rubbish that we just needed to get rid of after we'd moved all of our stuff to the new place. Obviously didn't want to take it with us. So we found a great young fella off of Airtasker who took the lot in his ute for $100. And if you are going to do this and you coordinate it well, you could pick up from maybe 2 or 3 houses like this in a row. Just be aware that you'll usually have to pay to get rid of everything at the tip that can't be recycled. So you'll need to factor that in when you're setting your prices in. That $100 that he charged, some of that would have had to go to the tip. My missus took his number and we actually booked him again about a week later when we bought a table for the new place. So this is what I was saying. As you can see, there's plenty of opportunities to provide value, especially if you meet a family who's moving house. They're going to need a van or a ute, and just for random odd stuff like that. Unfortunately, my missus did continue to message him after that, and she ended up actually leaving me for him. Okay, I made that bit up. Number 3, event equipment transport. This is markets, weddings, school events. They all need gear shifting, right? So you can partner with event hire companies, or you can work directly with the organizers. It will take a bit of networking to build those contacts, but it's worth it, right? Because companies and schools, they usually pay better than like a random bloke on Facebook Marketplace. And if you're reliable, they'll keep coming back every time they need a van or a ute. Number 4, tradie overflow work. So full disclosure, I've never built anything more complex than an IKEA shelf, but I've heard small builders often need an extra set of wheels. So you supply the ute, they supply the fuel money. Have a chat to any tradies you know and see where it goes basically. During boom times, this could keep you very busy. But if you'd rather build your own little micro business instead of helping out someone else's, the next set of side hustles might just be your thing. Oh, and if you're into Aussie specific practical side hustle content like this, hit that subscribe button below so you don't miss the next couple of vids I'm currently cooking up, because they are gonna absolutely slap. Category 2, the micro businesses. So these are a bit more effort, but they come with a lot more reward. So number 5 in our list of 12 is mobile gardening services. So you're going to need a mower, a whippersnipper, and that's about it, to be honest. And you could easily fit both of those in a little trailer on the back of your car if you don't have a van or a ute. If you pick the right suburbs, people pay good money just to save doing it themselves. Like a good chunk of your work is just going to be mowing nature strips. So again, a mower and a whippersnipper, that's all you need. It's good, honest work, but no qualifications are needed. Just the ability to dodge dog poo and keep in a straight line, basically. If you then want, you can expand from there. I got quite into lawns at one point and started dreaming about starting a premium lawn care business where you sort of get involved with irrigation and fertilizers and all that more advanced stuff. You obviously don't have to go that far, but the world is your oyster with this one. Number 6, mobile car detailing. Not much equipment really for this one either. Pressure washer, buckets, and a vacuum. That's probably about it. That's your mobile detailing starter pack. You rock up at a customer's house or workplace, clean their car, and they pay you for the luxury of not having to queue behind 10 cars at the servo, and waste half the weekend. Once you're in deep, you'll probably want to own your own water tanks and just have them in the back of your vehicle. But I'm sure when you're just starting out, most people will let you use their tap. especially if it's at home. If it's at their workplace, it might be a bit more tricky, but just make sure you let them know you need to use their tap before you agree to the job and before you agree on a price. Also, if you're giving any of these a proper crack, you're going to want to track your income and expenses from day one. I use Xero for that. It's easy, user-friendly for everyday people, and it makes doing your taxes a piece of cake. So it automatically pulls in transactions from your bank account, and then you just have to say what they are. There's a link below that will get you 50% off for 3 months, and it's obviously a tax deductible expense as well. That's an affiliate link, but I've been using it for over 10 years, and it's the one I always recommend to friends and family. Next up, number 7, mobile pressure cleaning. I love the idea of this side hustle just because of how simple it is. It's a pressure washer in the back of your van, ute or trailer. That's it. Very similar to the car washing side hustle. When you go pro, you probably want to get your own water tanks in the back of your vehicle, but you can definitely start off by just hooking up to the customer's water supply at the beginning. Just make sure your pressure washer is rated to run off a garden tap. That's more than fine for driveways and patios. People love seeing before and after photos, including myself. So make sure you set up an Instagram and tag me at @SideBusinessBloke on Instagram. I'll be the bloke double tapping your mossy driveway glow ups at 11 p.m. at night. Number 8, farmers market stall holder. All right, so this one's technically not a vehicle based side hustle, but having a van or ute makes this side hustle much easier and economical. So I used to attend trade shows for my last business, and a big chunk of any profit made at the shows was always eaten up by me having to rent a van every time. So if you already own one, then that's a massive barrier to entry that you've already overcome that sort of other people might struggle with, your competition, right? So have a think about what you could sell at farmers markets. Think baked goods, homemade gear, preserves, candles, all that sort of weekend, like wholesome vibe stuff, yeah? I reckon if it was me, I'd have a chili stall. I'd sell chili, chili seeds, chili plants, chili sauce, chili jam. If that's a bit of you, then yeah, just remember to wash your hands before you use the bathroom. Number 9, mobile bicycle repair. So if you're a cyclist and can handle basic repairs like tuning gears, fixing brakes, swapping tires, you might be surprised to learn that a lot of people cannot handle those things. Like, I can change tires, but it takes me ages and it's not really something I particularly enjoy. So if you're sitting there thinking, Andy, you delicate little latte sipper, it's easy, then you can consider setting up a mini bicycle repair workshop in the back of your van. It doesn't even have to be a permanent van conversion or anything like that. You can literally just put in a suitable toolbox and maybe like a bike stand to help you do your repairs. You can go to people's homes, their offices. Again, a lot of these side hustles, you're not only selling the service, you're selling convenience. But if you want something more laid back, then picture this. You chilling at the beach while your gear earns the money for you. That's this next side hustle. Number 10, kayak or paddleboard hire and delivery. So if you live in an area near a good beach or even like a good river, preferably one without crocodiles, this could be an absolute gem straight out of left field. So kayaks and paddleboards are super fun. Here's a picture of me on one dressed as a parrot. Don't ask why, long story. Not too much to buy, and you can charge surprisingly good rates to tourists. Now, most people don't have the means to go and collect these items and then take them to their chosen aquatic spot, right? But that's where you come in again with the convenience. So you can buy paddle boards for as little as like 200 bucks these days. So you might want to spend a bit more to get one that's probably going to last a bit longer. But the going rate to hire them out seems to be about $30 to $75 per hour, depending on the location. Like, seriously, you do the maths on that. It's not going to take long at all to earn your money back, and then you're just making profit after that. This one is semi-passive in that you're renting out assets rather than trading your time for money. But if you want something even more passive, then this next section is for you. Category 3, the passive income earners. So make money from an asset instead of trading time for money. Number 11, rent out your vehicle. Now, I don't own a ute or a van at the moment, but every month or two I find myself needing one. I needed one fairly regularly when I was still running my e-commerce business, and every time I would rent from another person through a car sharing app rather than a traditional hire place. It's cheaper for one, and there's usually one parked about 5 streets away, and also I don't have to like line up at some depressing rental desk next to an airport that's only open sort of certain hours of the day, right? I used to use Car Next Door, which then became Uber Car Share, which then promptly shut down. On the plus side, the founders sold to Uber for 100 million apparently, so they're probably doing all right. But yeah, that is no more. So there's a couple more that have sort of fill in the gaps. These days I use Turo, and it's been smooth so far. And you've also got another platform called DriveMate. Vans and Utes do really well on these platforms, especially automatics, basically because everyone can drive an auto, but only half of us can drive a manual, and the other half pretend we just prefer not to. But don't worry, your secret's safe with me. You can charge around $100 a day, and depending on which plan you're on, you can keep anywhere from 65% to 90% of that $100. Obviously, you've got expenses like maintenance and things like that, which you're going to have to think about, but it's not bad coin for letting your ute take a day off from sitting in your driveway looking tough. And number 12, loosely related to number 11, it's camper van hire. I've always dreamed, and maybe you have too, of decking out a van for road trips, but I could never quite justify the cost because, let's be honest, you've got a toddler, a mortgage, and no time for finding yourself in Byron Bay, right? So renting it out when you're not using it could be the perfect excuse to finally do it. Platforms like Camplify, and there's others to be fair, but I think that's the main one in Australia, let you hire out your camper when you're not using it. And if you play it right, you can make your money back faster than you can say van life influencer. Just remember, it's seasonal though, so don't expect a flurry of bookings in winter unless you market it as like a cozy off-grid hypothermia experience. So just to recap, best for quick cash: furniture delivery, pressure cleaning, car detailing. Most passive: camper van hire or renting out your vehicle, or paddleboard hire. Best for tradies or handy blokes, so not me probably, is tradie overflow, gardening services, and bike repair. The best part about these side hustles is you can combine them, so you can do them seasonally, or you can just try one to see if it works, then try another one and see what sort of suits you. I imagine most of you need to use your van or ute for other stuff at least some of the time, and most of these side hustles we've talked about today allow for that. Other than sort of the camper van one, I don't think it requires a permanent conversion for any of them. If you want more Aussie specific side hustle ideas, then hit subscribe and check out one of these videos next. Until next time, build something you own.